Hey guys, Lost Girl here, wanting to throw you guys into a quick video today. Today's topic, I was thinking about doing a quick World vs. World overview. Just a few beginner questions. I had an ask around, had a few talks to people, and we kind of decided these were probably some of the most commonly asked questions for people new to World vs. World. Things they didn't know, things they want to know, and not too embarrassed to ask. So, let's get into it. So, first things first, how do you get into World vs. World? Up the top here, you will see my overwalk. That's not incredibly helpful, is it? Up here on the different tabs, you've got your guild tabs, your World vs. World tabs, your PvP tabs. So you can either press B to get it up on your screen, or you can manually click on it, and it will give you the choice of either your home borderland or two of the different borderlands of your team, or your competitors, your opposition, I guess, or EB, which is sort of a common favorite for people just to stomp around. People tend to keep their own borderlands under control, not usually take as much in other people's borderlands. Obsidian Sanctum isn't really the same as the other worlds. There's not as much capping. It's more of a PvP, guild vs guild kind of thing people are using it for at the moment. But I'm going to start off in my home borderland. So borderlands all look the same. If you zoom out the map, we've got all the different borderlands. On your home borderland, you will always have your Citadel waypoint. That is your spawn. You'll always have a Gary, so each borderlands has their own, Citadel and their own garrison. So you always want to try and keep those. Well, you can't cap the Citadel, but you can cap a Gary. So you're always going to want to make sure your Gary's safe, hopefully upgraded, because that makes things so much easier when it comes to running around on the map as a Zerg. Popular points are always Bay, Dreaming Bay, and the hills. Everybody loves hills, everybody loves Bay. They're always sort of in demand places. Depending on what color you are, depends on where your spawn will be. So, at the moment, because I'm in IOJ, Borderlands, this is my Citadel, this is where we're spawned. But if you were going to another enemy's Borderlands, you'd have different spawn points. And back over this side, where are we? DB Borderlands, we've got one over that side this time. Okay, so what else? That's a basic little map overview anyway. You've got your waypoints back to LA. You've got your exits this way, which will lead you to towers, to camps, and all the fun on the outside. Enemies can't get into your Citadel, so you're always going to be safe. They've got little crafting stations, repair stations, stuff like that. Which looks like I need to hit up a little repair station. Patch day today, so I was getting stomped by rangers. It's always good fun. People testing out all those new updates. The other thing I will talk to you about is Siege. Here we've got a flame ram. I'll have to find one that's already built and show you basically how those are used. And these little things, not so little things, golems. Golems are great fun. Somebody can man them, go inside, move them. They are great for taking sort of more heavily fortified towers. They're great for taking something that's a little bit harder. People will generally build them in the 5s to 20s. Like, they're a pretty good thing to have around. Over here you've got your Siege Master. So Siege will drop for you from chests and loot and all that other fun stuff, but like I said before, behind me was the Flame Ram. That's great for taking down doors of towers. Arrow carts are great for sieging towers to use if somebody comes to try and take it. But you've got all this other stuff. You've got ballistas, catters, trebuchets, and alpha golems. They've all got their place in World vs. World, but what I will say is the #1 pet peeve for the commanders is when people drop siege. Unless you're asked to drop siege, do not drop siege. Otherwise, everybody will bitch you out and you'll just be a pain in the bum, and you'll be probably wasting supply that could be used for something else. So I'm going to run down here. Let's see if I can show you a flame ram or something like that. Now, one word of advice I will give you is, especially in the Borderlands, there's a lot of cliffs. And these cliffs do damage because they're quite high, you know, so people die all the time. I've seen commanders lead entire zergs off to die, and that's never a fun time. Because then of course you either have to waypoint or wait for everybody to res you. Look, here we go up here. Okay, so flame rams. There are different kinds of flame rams as well. You've got what is commonly called a paper ram, which is just the basic flame ram. Then you have superior rams, and I do believe you can even make guild rams. If not guild rams, and you can make guild catters. So basically, flame rams are super simple. Probably more maybe the heavier, tankier classes, because you can get taken out by oil, which we don't have any oil here. But basically, 1 skill, 2 skill, it's going to ram the gate. So it's not going to ram the gate because I'm not actually trying to take it down, but yeah. You can put your trait points, which is probably the next thing we'll talk about, not trait points, but they're like trait points. As you level up through World vs. World, you'll get different ranks, different titles. I'm currently a Bronze Scout 294, but you'll get points to put into all of this stuff. So you've got the Siege Golem Mastery, that's a new thing at the moment. Guard Killer, Defense Against Guards. Like, you've got all these things that you can put them into. If you're new to World vs. World, I'd probably say maybe Flame Mastery is a great one to get started on, just so you can be useful, but everybody always has Flame Mastery. So things like Kata Mastery. A lot of people don't have Kata Mastery because they put points into guard killing and stuff like that. Oil Mastery, maybe. Arrow Cart Mastery would be the next thing you would put traits into. But, let's see what kind of siege we've got in here. If anything, we don't have any siege in here, guys. GG. But, alright, let's just... For an example, I'm going to chuck down... Let's chuck down an arrow cart here. So I can put this up here, so that if the enemy comes and they're breaking down our gate, we have a chance to at least defend. And this is the next thing I was going to talk to you about, supply. So up the top here, we've got your supply count. I've currently got 15 supply. So you can build the siege with your supply. You also get a little bit of XP from it, which is always nice. But throughout all of the maps, through your Borderlands and through EB, you've got camps. Camps are great. You take them out with a few people, or if you're tanky enough and skillful enough to do it yourself, absolutely go do it, because people are always going to love having a camp ready available. So you run in, you pick up supply. Commander will usually lead you through all this. He'll lead you to a camp, he'll lead you to get supply, doing all that fun sort of stuff. But yeah. So once I get it up... Thankfully nobody's upgrading this tower, so I don't think any supply will be missed. And we've got it up. Awesome. Arrow cart's a bit of fun, so it's pretty much point and shoot. This arrow cart will reach the gate, so if there was someone trying to ram down our gate, we could easily help defend everybody with this. So that's always a good time. What else, what else, what else? When you take a tower, you'll follow your Zerg in. Hopefully you're all still alive and doing well after getting the gate down. Each tower is different. Each tower will have a different way to get in to find this beautiful person in here, which is your champion Tower Lord. these are the people that you'll have to kill in order to cap the tower. So once everybody in here's dead, a little red ring will pop up, and you'll have to wait for the cap. A little bar will pop up over here telling you like what percentage it's at. You have to defend it from any enemies that might come in and contest it. But yeah, that's basically that. Now Champion Lord and even Camp Lords have a thing called Righteous Indignation? Righteous Indignation? I think that's how you say it. RI. So if anyone ever asks you the RI, if you click on them, I'll find one, but there'll be a little symbol up here that will tell you like the time left on their RI. So that's always really handy to know. I'll find one though for you. As you can see down here, they're talking about TeamSpeak. TeamSpeak must be down at the moment. But I cannot stress enough like the value of having TeamSpeak. It's a free download. Someone in one of your maps will be able to verify you. You just sort of say in map chat, look, can somebody verify me? This is my name. It's super easy to set up. You don't necessarily have to have a mic, but it's really helpful to hear just what's going on. And you'll hear what's going on, where the enemies are, what the commander wants you to do, and all that sort of fun stuff. Of course, you've still got your repairers. If your towers and keeps are upgraded enough, you've got bankers. What else could I point out, guys? Oh, and sentries. Sentries are a commander's nightmare. They are pretty much someone who is hiding along the road. Let's see. Let's go get this guy. And spotted out through all the maps. They're really, if they're like these guys here, if they're your color, then that means somebody's already capped your sentry. But there's one over here that we could probably go for. I'd completely die if this guy actually managed to wipe me out, but I don't think I'm that bad that a sentry could wipe me out, but you never know. Sometimes your enemy will see you capping a sentry and take that as their opportunity to come and kill you, so. But sentries are pretty much dotted around the maps, and they will attack, if it's an enemy sentry, they'll attack your caravan. They will attack you as you run by, pretty much. Yeah, they're just an NPC enemy, basically. Where's this guy up there? I can also talk to you about ruins as well. But yeah, these guys are always fun. They're a little great bit of XP if, you know, if you're up in your high 60s or 70s and you're trying to level a bit. I used to run around just capping sentries for the experience, which was great. But they're usually pretty easy to solo. Although in saying that, I'm not sure if I could have taken one on anything before I had my warrior, but the whole capping process is pretty much just like when you cap a tower. So you'll see the little bar over here fill up. Once it's filled, it's yours, and he will disappear for a few minutes, and then he'll respawn as your side's NPC. While we're in a borderland, the 5 points you have here are called the ruins. And by capturing these and holding them for a certain amount of time, I believe it's 3, you only need to hold 3 for now. But capturing these will give you guys something called Bloodlust. Bloodlust is great, it's more points. You get all sorts of boosts and bonuses from it, so Bloodlust is pretty handy to have. And true to my name, I'm lost, so bear with me while I run my little ass up here and show you how to cap a ruin. Pretty much really, really easy, like there's nobody's gonna stop you. Wait, where is this? Wow. And that is me back. I'll admit I totally by a cute little which I cannot for the life of me figure out how to not die against, so I simply retreated. I think she stopped following me though, so it's all good. But yeah, what were we talking about? Ruins. Ruins. Easy to cap, and I mean, people are always going to appreciate you doing it. If you can get, you know, a couple of roamers on your map to come and help you, that's always great, because You know, if you've got one on each, you only need 3. That's only 3 people. Again, you just stand there, wait for the bar to fill. DB Zerg at Vale. So, if you don't know what that means, it means currently we have a 20-man Zerg of Dragonbrand. And some of the common lingo Zergs and DB, they usually just abbreviate. Green Vale down here. You get pretty used to what people are going to call things. Some commanders and people refer to camps as northeast, you know, northwest, stuff like that, but I found most people just call them by name. There's this little dude out here again, is she? Maybe not, maybe that's somebody else. Okay, so we've talked about your World vs. World points, we've talked about Siege, we talked about camps, we talked about RI, Golems, TeamSpeak. I'm super happy for you guys to leave comments below on anything else you might want to know about. Like I said, this was just sort of the first video. There she is, she was following me. Oh, Guardian. Maybe a different one. But yeah, anything else you guys think you might want to know, I'm happy to add to the video. I'm gonna have to refine it a bit. She's gonna smash me, isn't she? Probably. But yeah, so I'm gonna sign off for now. Leave it at that. And I will see you guys next time.